Shot 3 or 4 times, you might have to pay $5,000 to $10,000.
That's a lot of money.
That's a lot of work she be feeling that she putting in to save your life. Also hide the wounds from the police.
Her street name is The Nurse. Talking to her is impossible. She's protected by gang leaders. Even discussing her is against street code. But tonight, we are getting unprecedented access to information about the nurse, what she does, and the lives she's saving.
In fact, the nurse is so off the radar, we couldn't even find her, but that's not surprising because Little Rock police can't find her either. What she's doing, though, is recognized by major gangs in town.
For the first time ever, players on the street discuss the nurse, and exclusively to Fox 16 Investigates, Mitch McCoy.
Downtown Little Rock, the heartbeat of tourism, and minutes away from the nurse, who's holding life in the palm of her hands.
She the one you call upon.
This man asked we hide his identity. He's afraid he would face retaliation for breaking the rule of silence.
What would you like us to call you?
Street Run.
This guy has been in the gangs. He knows the circles, the players, the leaders, and he says he knows about the nurse.
She's saving lives.
Why would someone go to this nurse?
They would go to this nurse to keep from going to jail, or keep from knowing anyone, letting anyone know that they got shot.
Street Run says the nurse provides medical help to gunshot victims and does not report it to the police, something very illegal. He says she charges $500 to $10,000, but this is a nurse not just anyone can visit.
Anyone that don't want to get involved with the law enforcement when they have done something wrong.
But you have to know the right people.
You got to know the right people.
Street Run says the nurse has a safe house ready to use in a moment's notice, and only if it's approved by the street leaders.
She had 2 or 3 bed cots set up like in the hospital. She had IV stands with IVs on them already. She had a table, the sink.
Let's rewind to 3 months ago when the mother of a man injured in an officer-involved shooting got away, and his mother told me her son got help from someone on the street. We don't know if the two are connected, but...
He went to someone's house and they bandaged him up. It's a lady. She's supposed to be a nurse.
You heard her right.
Well, we may never know that they were shot.
Little Rock police investigator Tommy Hudson has been a cop on the streets of Little Rock for decades. He says rumors have always run high about the nurse who's supposedly set up shop somewhere in Midtown.
We would have people tell us that, well, this guy got treated. This guy was involved in a homicide or a shooting. This guy got treated by the nurse.
Hudson says officers have never been able to track her because talk of her is tight-lipped. He says she is someone he wants off the streets.
I don't want somebody that's impeding my investigation by accepting money to treat somebody that's obviously involved in violent criminal activity.
Street Run says people who see her don't even know her name. He says street leaders are afraid police informants will tip off officers.
They try to keep it very, very discreet. They don't want anyone to know about it. That's why they have certain people you have to talk to before you can see her.
So the big secret no one seems to have an answer to. Who is this woman?
The nurse is like someone that's undercover, like undercover railroad.
Street Run won't tell us, but he says she recently retired from a hospital and has kept a stock of medical supplies and prescription pills over the years.
How many people do you think she's saved and the police have never known about it?
Oh, I know at least 200 or 300.
This is like a scene out of the movies.
Yes, but it's real.
The nurse may keep the pulse of the streets beating, a so-called lifesaver. A world so far away, but so close.
She important people on the street to keep them going to jail, getting time, really saving their life right then.
Wow. Well, before the nurse, Street Run tells Fox 16 Investigates a doctor was helping gunshot victims in the 90s. hear about what the doctor did to stay off the radar right now on Fox16.com. I will tell you what. Listening to Street Run, and he's very, very convincing, but what really got me is the mother whose son was shot, and she said a nurse took care of him. So, I mean, that really does, to me, that legitimizes all of this. The thing that I can't understand is how police have not been able to find her.
Or the safe house, for that matter.
Exactly.
Yeah, and then you have to question what she's doing, the service she is providing. Is it legal? Does she still have her license, even though Street Run says she's retired?
She's retired.
You still have to question the ethics involved with that. What is she doing with the money that she's receiving under the table? Obviously, it's all cash. Where's that going? There's just so many questions, but it's fascinating to hear, according to Street Run and Mitch's report, that he believes this woman has saved nearly 200 to 300 lives. So obviously this, well, not obviously, but it appears that this has been going on for a very long time.
I was going to say, she's been doing this for a long time, and apparently, as you can find on Fox16.com, if you go and you check out the rest of this story, there was a doctor that was doing this in the 90s, and then she took over from there. So, yes, she's been doing it for a very long time. My question, though, is what happens when she's on vacation or when she leaves? Certainly, sometimes she has to just get out of town just to go away on vacation. And then what do? You have to go to the hospital if the gunshot wound is bad enough and you want to survive.
Unless there's another nurse out there.
Unless there is someone else who's picking up the slack.
Great story, very fascinating.